That's like a 5-minute Loom of me being like really, really overly excited.
The next piece that I want to talk, so we talked a lot about self-serve and how your data stack is set up for self-serve. One of the issues is that I've seen with self-serve is like, you can have all the data, you can have it all available, but it doesn't really solve the problem of understanding the data. So I'd love to know how you've made that more accessible for your team.
What I had mentioned previously regarding the transformation layer being an API of sorts, I like to visualize what's going on in DBT as an API because I think it really helps me sort of containerize what like a good instance of DBT looks like. I think if you think of a great API like Stripe or any sort of SaaS tool, when they provide you with API documentation, it's not, they just give you the document and you build on top of that. There's not like I need to like talk to someone and ask some additional questions. Those docs should be exhaustive to the point where someone can just like take what you've done, this tool that you've created, and like run with it, build on top of it. They know how to like shape it and mold it. They know what it can and cannot do. And so that's how we really think about our DBT project. And so to that end, when we are building new models or surfacing new endpoints of this like transformation layer, and when I say endpoints, I just mean tables, we have built sort of standards and rules. We have rules in place in DBT that ensure that every single column has some bit of documentation. That's like one step. So this ensures that all the analysts, scientists, and data engineers who are contributing to the transformation layer are documenting their work well enough to like hand it off to someone who's not on the data team. Something else that we do is at the model level, we ensure that all of our like core endpoints have looms. We just record a loom, like a 5-minute loom. That's like the creator of that model, if it's myself, and say I'm like building a model that calculates, I don't know, MRR by month or something. I'm literally like on screen, using the Loom product to like walk through the return results of this table, like row by row, and like, this is what this means. Here's the like gotchas, watch out for this. Here's the potential like questions you would solve with this model. And that, I kind of like hypothesized that this would be useful for teams. And I was like, we're going to put all this effort in. Is it going to actually be used? And what we found is that our stakeholders love it. They actually like give us feedback. Hey, I don't know if this like model's helpful. Here's some columns that look like you missed these. And so we have found that this data dictionary that we built is like a highly useful tool for folks that aren't on the data team who want to like get their hands dirty in the SQL world or like do their own sort of analysis.
I got a follow-up for you on that one, buddy. They got us those microphones, so I keep leaning into it. I was just wondering, you record those videos, you record the Loom videos. Who are the people who watch those the most? Does it depend on what the videos are about? Or are there like certain teams or certain people on your team that are the ones that are kind of consuming those?
That's a great question. So primarily what we will do is in the PR process, these Looms that are recorded, they become a part of the pull request. So when I say like, hey, I just created these models. Can you take a look at my work? The other person on the data team who's like giving me the check or the like, hey, you got some changes here that you need to make. They are using that Loom to like get the context of like why I'm doing what I'm doing. So that's typically like a one-off. They'll watch that Loom once and it'll be like, okay, yeah, great job. Like next thing. Once the code is in production and that Loom video link and sort of little embed is made available on the DBT Cloud like website, we do find that like stakeholders watch these at some points multiple times if they're like interacting with a model and they come back to it 2 weeks later and they need a refresher. We do see that occurring quite a bit. And then the one other thing I'll do is on Fridays, I'll do like new model alert Friday that I send to like the whole team at Loom. That's like a 5-minute Loom of me being like really, really overly excited and like total weatherman style, like, okay, got a new data alert for you. Like, this is what this thing can do. And I'll do that I tried to do that once a week just to do help with like knowledge share and like get the word out there that these looms and this documentation does exist.